I think the musicians struggle with some issues that they don't all have the knowledge that they can do a lot for themselves by sharing other musicians' content, so getting things in return. There's a lot of good musicians out there and a lot of good bands, and they don't get the attention they deserve.
And I keep going, although no, I won't get out here alive. I've seen it all.
Hello and welcome. This is Daniel from Blue Sky Theory, and I welcome you to our first episode of Blue Sky Theory Talk.
Absolutely. And this is Patrick. Good day. Today we have an incredible guest, and this is no one less but Rieke from the band Headgear. Rieke, so nice that you're here. How are you?
Yeah, thanks, welcome. I'm pretty fine, I'm pretty excited. Yes, I'm interested in what's happening.
Years ago, I was in a pub, in a rock bar in Bremen, here in the city, and I saw a band playing there. And I was pretty excited, and I thought, wow, that's a great band. They were playing in German, and they made great music, like great riffs, was between metal and punk, but the vocals were great, melody was great, riffing was awesome. And I thought, man, that's an awesome band. And they had got masks on. You couldn't see who this was.
I saw Metallica, it was great. No, what?
And I thought, that's a cool idea. They had got their clothes fit to the masks and everything. And I thought, okay, this band is going to be huge and we will hear the next time from them a lot.
But you didn't.
But then I didn't. They disappeared. And I thought, what happened to this band? I saw this pub who overwhelmed me. And they were singing in German. The name was Unbekannt, which means unknown in English. And yeah, this band seemed to disappear. And later I saw your podcast on Instagram. And Jörn, your bass player, said the story that Headgear were this band I saw years ago. And then I thought, okay, that makes sense. Like, this was a really good band, and now this band became Headgear. But what I'm wondering about is, how did this whole Headgear project start, and how did you get involved into it?
Well, that's kind of a long story. First of all, this all Unbekannt stuff was before my times, before I joined Headgear. And it was founded 2014, I guess, when they did it. Just, I think 3 of us were the formers of Unbekannt: Jörn, Kevin, and Henny. And yes, they were actually wearing these masks, and I kind of liked them. As I saw them, they're still in our rehearsal room, hanging in the ceiling, and I kind of liked it. The fact that they had these half face masks, and yeah, it's how did things turn out? Well, I guess that it was because they wanted to make some harder music. They started with this German punk metal thing, and then they reached out to Ole, their former singer, before I joined forces with them. And he came from this singer-songwriter thing, so this was kind of changed a bit to rock with some metal elements, and his singer-songwriter voice, which gave them something special. I guess I've heard the first song. I think it was The Escape, which I heard first, and it really caught me off guard. I was kind of surprised, and then they wanted to turn a bit more heavier, and well, it was not the taste of Ole to go more heavier. He did some screams, but not really with joy. So yeah.
And that was when they already were Headgear, or when they still were Unbekannt?
They were already Headgear. When Ole joined Unbekannt, they turned to Headgear. Yes, and before that it was Unbekannt, and then came Ole, and then they turned into Headgear and leave the masks aside, and got a little brass section in the band. So somebody was playing as
a trumpet.
The trumpets,
on
yes,
the
the trumpets, and
pictures,
we had once the trumpet, and then we had I don't know don't know what he was playing actually, but something similar to the trumpet. But
Was there something, because you just said that you heard the song and you said, "Wow, that's great." What was it that actually caught your attention about this band? What was maybe the catchy thing that you were like, "Wow, I need to join this band"?
yeah, actually, they needed a singer.
All right, no, that's fair enough.
No, I kind of like what they've achieved so far, and I had to get used to the thoughts that they had a brass section. It's not very common in metal to have these kind of instruments involved, and I thought it was really interesting, and I just really wanted to check it out. And so then I met the guys, and they were all kind, and everything was quite perfect. And so let's join forces and try to get
So
new
they were
music together.
seeking for a singer, and you saw it? That they seek a
No,
new
actually,
singer?
my best friend reposted a post from them, marked me in it, and said, "Hey, look, they're looking for a singer, and you're not that. I didn't feel welcome anymore in my old band. Somehow, it was just like a bit. Things became lazy, unpleasant somehow, and the energy was gone, and I was looking for something new because I had a lot of effort I wanted to put into something, and these guys seemed to offer exactly what I was looking for.
It was in 2016 when you joined?
2017, June, I guess, if I remember correctly.
If you right now, like, if there was someone walking outside and someone has never heard your music yet, how would you describe the music of Headgear?
Oh, that's a tough question how to describe Headgear. This is a bit of modern metal, a bit of progressive metal, a bit of metalcore, but not totally linked to a specific kind of genre. We are still trying things out. There are songs coming where I'm rapping, and we're looking for, okay, does it work, or is it not working? It's hard to describe because I think we still don't know it yet, what we are. We are working on songs, and we have a certain type, and we see the change from song to song, that there is a certain change in music and in genre. So hard to describe.
Is there actually a song that you, or is there already something, because you just said that you guys, you want to try out and you still need to find what makes the special thing about Headgear. Is there something that you can say right now, that's something that we would never do, or is there something, like for instance, you will never find a ballad with Headgear? Is there something that you say, we're not going to do that?
Yes, I think it will be blast beats.
Okay.
But not because we don't want to, but I guess Kev has to learn a lot to do this kind of stuff. Fun aside, I think these doom metal things that will never attract us in any way. I just really need to focus on clean vocals. I guess this is a very important part, and music that doesn't involve clean vocals is probably something Headgear wouldn't be.
And if you are now really interested and excited about how this music actually sounds and looks, we will have got a short look into their music videos.
Yeah, I mean, everyone could right now see a little taste of the band called Headgear about the music videos. Yes, that's right. We just said, okay, how do you describe the style and so on? There are a lot of bands that just talk about the loved ones. There is a lot of things going on, like lyrically. Can you say what your songs are more or less about? It is I don't know, socially criticism? Is it love? Maybe. What are your songs about?
I think social criticism hits the spot quite well. There are a lot of songs I wrote, lyrics I wrote, which are not actually turned into songs, but the lyrics are there, where I criticize humanity or human itself. Like our latest single, Eden Fire, is a total criticism on society, and but there are other topics as well. So our next single, "Get Out of My Head," is a breakup song. So it turns. It depends on the mood I'm in while I'm writing, and so yeah, there's no certain type, but most of the songs I wrote are somehow criticizing something. I'm not the positive type.
And how do you write the music as a band? Like you jam and the songs emerge and evolve, or does somebody has already got the song finished, you put some lyrics on it, you work on the melody? How do you do this at a band?
I think the most common way to describe it is, well, actually everybody's probably thinking we're in the rehearsal room and somebody's coming up with a riff and hey, let's join and see what comes out. But actually,
This is what not happens.
this is actually what not happens
That's what
anymore.
everyone
No.
thinks, but it doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen anymore. Rehearsal room is just a rehearsal, not to write a song. So I guess it turns out to be very cool and good when someone is doing the writings. So we have Henny and we have Henry and myself. So we're the ones who are writing. Well, actually, most of my songs get rejected. Don't know why. But especially Henny's songs is what we actually work on when he's done something. It doesn't take long, and then I put the vocals on, and then it goes into rehearsal. So then we are trying to figure it out and trying to make everything work together. Then comes Henry in with some backing lines or whatever, and then we show Jörn how to play the bass, and that's it, basically.
And what is the reason that you write the lyrics in English as for your German band? Why do you do it all in English?
I don't know why they choose to write in English. I did both. I wrote songs in German as well. But some people said, well, English suits better. I'm open for both languages. So I still want to do this kind of one song per album in German style. I kind of like it because it's my native language, and I think it's beautiful to write songs in. I don't know if any foreigners would see it as the same, but as you see, like Rammstein, they can have success with German as a language in music, but it's most common to make it in English, and I think that's the reason why, because everybody is capable of understanding what you're singing about, and I guess that's the reason why they wanted it, and it's okay for me, because I like English a lot. It's a very, very great language, and yeah, it's the world's language, so.
Absolutely. We have just talked before the interview behind the scenes, and we were, and I was actually saying it's incredible to see that you are gaining more and more clicks on YouTube, on Spotify, and so on. Like, you guys are really growing, and everything keeps coming and keeps falling for you. Is there something that you can right now say already, okay, we exist now for some years, we had some great stories. What are actually so far your biggest milestones within the band? Like, what is the thing that you're maybe the most proud of? Is there a special gig? Has there been a special LP and EP or whatsoever?
Well, this milestone kind of thing, it's not actually how I look at things. I see it as a part on the road that hasn't come to an end, hopefully. So, well, there are certain milestones, of course, like winning Local Heroes back in 2018. So in Bremen, not the national contest, which was great. Also great. We had a lot of fun and had a lot of fun the whole night, which was kind of bad for my voice, drinking all night long, and then next day singing in front of 1,000 people. That was not the smartest idea, but it was quite fun. And of course, releasing the first single is some kind of milestone, of course. And well, looking back now, it's like the ugly kid I would like to hide in the attic.
When did you release the first single? Which year was it?
Well, it was 2018, I guess. Yeah, when the EP dropped out.
And the single was called what?
Jack's Diary was
Jack's
the
Diary,
first.
like
was
the
first
music
single.
video we saw before.
Yes. This was quite the first thing we released, and now I'm proud to say we made a lot of more steps forward. So this is not the level we're on anymore, and that's quite cool to see. Well, there's progress, and
So is it also like for you, because we feel it, I think, as well as a band. Every band feels the same, but also interesting for you to know from your opinion. Are you more proud about, in general, new stuff, or is there maybe also a song in the bag in the past that you say nothing can top this?
Like I said, we're always looking to find our style, so we're quite looking for the new things. So especially in my opinion, I'm one of the most critical persons to ever walk the earth. So I'm never satisfied with my results, and I'm always trying to improve myself for the next song. So I'm might thinking that the next one is even getting better and better, especially with my vocals. There's a lot I have to learn. I have learned already, but still a lot that I have to learn and I have to put into these songs to make them even better than the last one. So I think, some songs back in the days were like milestones, and I thought, well, this is great, and I'm very pleased with it. And then came the next single or the next song, and I said, well, it gets better.
Okay. Now, also coming to the next question, it leads me together with the topic, because the question that I want to ask is actually about the best things and the worst things on stage. But what caught the attention right now is that you say, well, we try out things and so on. And from the perspective of the singer that we both are, do you sometimes put attention on how high you put some certain songs? Because when I sometimes think, I see my idols, like, I don't know, Bon Jovi or so on, they sometimes, with age, they seem to struggle with the high-pitched notes that they sang their songs when they were young. Is that something that you put attention to, or is that something that you already now see, okay, fuck, why did I put the song so high? And what is maybe the best and the worst things about live playing?
Well, I actually always try to get the best results doing a live show. So it's always has an impression on the writing process. So I think, well, this sounds pretty cool, but do it live. Doing it live is a bit hard. So sometimes I change things to avoid these things. And even if you take a look on the set lists, certain songs are not allowed to play in a row because it is very very hard, and to get the level that people want to keep it up. Depending, the voice is not an instrument you can always tune and then it works. So it depends on the daily conditions, yes. And so if you have a bad day and you have the bad song structure in the sound list, you can have a really, really bad gig. So, and there is not much that leads to this. There's a lot that leads to this. So yes, it takes its toll. So
it's quite interesting because there are a lot of bands who just write the music, make the music in the studio, and say, okay, we will later see how it goes out live, what we will do there. Like there are quite bands like this, but that's an interesting point that you say, okay, I write the music already like that it will always work live.
It should,
on
yes.
stage.
It's something you have to keep in mind, even if you're not like Mariah Carey. You can give her a mic and give her some notes, and she can sing it perfectly. I'm not like her, actually, and so I always want to present the best results that as possible, and to do so, you have to keep certain things in mind. So even if you're a clean vocalist and always a shouter, besides that, that means that you have to switch from clean singing to screaming and back and forth and back and forth. And this is a lot of pressure for your vocal cords, and so you have to keep in mind, well, do I have to go this pitch up to make this song even better, or is there another melody I can take to achieve that situation or that emotion I wanted to show? So, yes.
What is the vision you have got for Headgear? What are the big plans? Where do you think this project, this band can go?
Well, I hope pretty far. It actually, we have no goal to name out. So, of course, everybody's dreaming of playing at Riekenberg or Wacken or the big festivals. If that's going to happen, we'll see in the future. But first of all, I want constant good results. So, and there's a lot that leads a band to these big festivals, and it's not only good music. You have to be quite patient. You have to be, sometimes annoying to people to get to know, that they get to know you. And you have to be friendly. You have to do all kinds of things to get your band forward. And I think it's part of the process. So you have to stick to your music, you have to stick to yourself, and you always have to do, let me say, there is a certain point when music turns from hobby to work. And this is a point we're actually in right now. So there you can just meet and have a lot of fun drinking your beer during the rehearsal and get your few gigs in a year. And that for some people it's fine, they're okay with it. But we decided, okay, we will put some effort in it, we will put some work in it because we wanted it to go further. And so the goal is actually to get more and more gigs to present our music to the people. And this is the first goal, the first step, to get regular play slots on festivals or other venues or whatever. So this is the goal, being part of the game first.
You already said a lot of things that you say you always strive to be the best version of your band and so on. Nowadays, a lot of people can actually record music. Everyone can do it from home. Everyone tries to have the best video and so on. And it seems that every band is so good. But is there a certain thing that you say, especially nowadays, this is very important for a band to have to catch the people's attention? Is there this one little secret that you can
Yes, there is actually. There's a lot of good musicians out there and a lot of good bands, and they don't get the attention they deserve. And in my opinion, it's like they miss the spot, the social media. It's a very, 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 very important part of the musical life these days. So especially during Corona, you reach out to the people via social media. You can't have any concerts where you can say, well, check us out or do whatever and reach a lot of people. You reach 10 times as much as people like in concert doing your social media strategy. So it's very important. And it's not enough just to post on Facebook, well, we have a gig, come on and join us. Yeah. So you have 2 hours left. Catch up and
by the way, tonight we play in Ulm.
Exactly. But there is something you have to use, the algorithms that are in the social media. So like Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. these are the main social media channels that you have to use as a band to get a progress, to move forward into the music industry. That opens doors and that leads to connections. And this is the second important thing. You have to connect with other bands, with other musicians, with I don't know which who you have to be friends with to get the gig you ever wanted. But
do you think it's important still to have a label as a band nowadays?
Well, at a certain point in your career, maybe, but you don't need it essentially from the beginning. Not in these days, where you can achieve a lot on your own if you dig into it, if you dig into the music scene and how things work out. I think you can get pretty far on your own, but on a certain point, if you want to reach out a Metallica, Linkin Park level, yeah, I guess then you need a label.
Let's switch maybe to a different point, because right now we have seen a lot of Corona stuff. People cannot meet anymore. Bands, I mean, what always brought them together was being in the sweaty, warm, hot room filled with alcohol to rehearse their music. That falls away right now. How do you keep a band together? And what do you guys actually do to keep the band as a band?
And how do you keep your motivation up on a higher level?
I think the part where the motivation comes with the task itself. So we decided to put our focus on social medias, and like Jörn and Henry do a lot on Instagram. I do Facebook. Henry does everything related to Spotify. And
so you have different roles in the band.
Yes.
You are responsible for this part. You are responsible for this part.
Yes, it's too much for one person. Like Jörn said, this is a full-time job doing Instagram, because he's daily doing something like a story, or we have a program called Headgear, where we go live for an hour and chatting with people, drinking with them some beer, answering questions, etc. And that takes time. And this is something you really have to put work in. And this is what I meant with working. So this is not only just having fun. This is, you have to think about what you're doing, what you want to achieve. So we decided, especially because there are no gigs and we can't rehearsal, we decided, okay, we will release certain type of songs over the year. I think if we take Eden Fire from December in it, we will release 5 more songs this year. So just to be on the radar, on the people. I do a lot of research and take care for the reaction videos. You did one for us, Eden Fire. That was great. I reached out to Doc Zivler. Greetings, by the way. He's a fine guy from, I think, Bavaria. Rachel Reacts from the States. So all these kinds of people that spread the word. So they got their audience, they got their people who are listening to. So it's quite interesting that many people listen to Eden Fire on Spotify in Austria and Wien. Over 1,000 times, over 1,000 people, and even the US is quite big with 2,200 people. And yes, that is kind of important to be present there. So you need to find someone who can spread the word in these certain types of area. And yeah, this is what we actually planned this year.
Now that you just said that you guys have different roles, like everyone has a different part, and someone does Spotify, someone Instagram, and so on. How do you keep it up with the democracy within the band? Because you said you just have different roles. Who's responsible for which outcome? Like, are you guys talking together, or are you guys not doing democracy but Demokratur, which is everyone talks but one guy decides? What's it like?
I like the Demokratur. Yes, I always thought that would be perfect. No, actually, yes, we're talking. We have Skype conferences discussing certain topics. But somehow we don't discuss over anything. everything. So it's quite important that the one who's responsible for some social media platform has to do the decisions. So it's sure that I'm not releasing on Facebook that we're releasing a song and the others don't know about it. So that's clear. But if I think, well, I've got to repost this band, or I have a story to tell, or I wanted to make a short video telling, well, there's something coming in a few weeks or so, I don't have to ask for permission. That's the good thing about it. So you have to decide, is it an information spread? Do I have to talk with the guys first, or is it something I can do on my own?
Let's just talk for a second, not about your band, but maybe about you. What are your idols and why did you start making music?
Well, that's funny. My idols as a vocalist are Corey Taylor, Chester Bennington, and Aaron Lewis from Stains. These are the ones I grew up with, and it's quite funny. The band that brought me to heavy music was Limp Bizkit, Take a Look Around, 2001. And it was the soundtrack to Mission Impossible 2. And I really liked it, you know, in the bridge when the drums and the guitars is da 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 da. I said, "Whoa, yeah, what the fuck? Great!"
Do you play an instrument yourself or you just sing?
Yes. Limp Bizkit made me play the guitar. Well, especially that's I can tell exactly the moment when I decided I wanted to play guitar. On the same album, this was Chocolate Starfish and the Hot Dog Flavored Water. There's a song called Boiler, and they made a very creepy, unique video to it. And at a certain point, Wes Borland makes a special move with this guitar. It's at the very end when the song is very having a power, and he made a certain movement with the camera from down below filming upwards, and he made this wow, and I think, wow, what a great motherfucker that is, especially with all this makeup and everything. So I just wanted to be able to do that song. I actually never learned that song, so but it brought me to the fact that I want to play.
Awesome. I don't know.
Yeah, it turns out that Wes Borland is such a strange motherfucker. He's playing, I think it was Nuki, where he put a bass string on his guitar to make the sound. So I thought, well, that's too weird. Sorry, keep your own stuff, but I developed my own style. So this is how I came to play the guitar, and then I had my first band, which never hit the stage. We were just rehearsing. We were 3 guitars, no bass player, a little girl that could scream like, I don't know.
And the trumpet, or did you? And the trumpet? Or
She was the
No,
trumpet.
no trumpets. This was of only recordings that we made were like with a microphone inside the rehearsal room. So it's how old was I? 16. So it is quite a long time. 2005 it must be, or 7. I don't know. I can't do math anymore. Yeah, but we never hit the stage. We were just gathering our experience and wanted to try out something. And then, as the band broke up, I left music for almost 10 years. Yes, I started playing football and had to make a decision. Do you want to make music or do you want to play football? And I said, hey, well, can get rich by playing football too. Well, things actually didn't turn out. So, someday my best friend invited me to a concert to join. She was playing as a vocalist for Contigo Bay back then. And I saw her on stage and I said, well, I wanted to make music again. And I don't know why I would try out as a singer. Maybe it's because, I can play the guitar, but I had no gear. So I think it was quite expensive at this time to get all the things back together to join a band. And I actually wrote something on Facebook. Actually, no, I saw something on Facebook and saying, yeah, we're rehearsing, everything is there. You just need your voice. Perfect match. So,
All I need is one mic.
yes, actually, this was there too. I didn't have to bring anything. That was quite awesome.
Sounds actually a little bit like me, like you without gear, even for me as a singer. I also have no gear.
Yes.
Well, we come right now to a very interesting part because right now we have we have prepared some 20 questions.
Oh, okay.
And it's a very, very short time for you to answer. You have exactly 4 seconds per question. We have 20 questions. And if you're ready, I'm ready. Yeah?
Wait.
All right. Okay. Best band singer.
Corey Taylor.
Okay. Who would you be for one day?
Corey Taylor.
Best lockdown drink recommendation.
Beer.
The best food restaurant in Bremen.
There's no one.
Skip.
Skip. The best about Bremen.
The city itself.
Okay. The laziest person within the band. Okay. The biggest diva in the band.
Yeah.
A song you wish you wrote.
Stairway to Heaven.
Best actor of all time.
Bruce Willis.
Okay. Best thing to do after work.
Drink.
Drink. How many times per day do you watch or listen to your own content?
Often.
A must-have on your tour rider.
Smartphone.
Guitar or piano?
Guitar.
Sleeping on the side on your back.
Sight.
Chaos or being organized?
Organized chaos.
Cooking or ordering?
Cooking.
Netflix or Amazon Prime?
Both.
Death metal or rock ballad?
Death metal.
Nickelback or status quo?
Nickelback.
Your secret superpower?
Flying.
Flying. All right, okay.
I think flying is pretty great.
Yeah. One more question. You are like you're still kind of a local band, but there is like a vision to go higher. What do you think about this local music scene here in Bremen? What is your opinion about it? Is there something like a local metal scene or local music scene? Is this supportive? Is there a connection, a network? What are your thoughts about this?
I think the musicians struggle with some issues that they don't all have the knowledge that they can do a lot for themselves by sharing other musicians' content, so getting things in return. I think most bands and musicians only look on themselves. They have their certain bands and friends which they support, but I don't think that there is a scene that supports everyone involved. I think this is kind of a problem because maybe they don't know how many musicians there are. Well, it's hard to describe how the music scene, especially the metal scene in Bremen, is. I only knew a few bands, so reached out to a lot, and okay, so some I discovered is just like, well, okay, maybe later again if you practice a little more. But there are just some bands I could name actually right now that that show that they wanted to reach more, and I think the scene itself. How to describe it? Well, Andrea from Music Scene Bremen e.V. said to us once, so there are only 2 bands or musicians in Bremen that actually do this social media part very well. So this is one, Headgear, and I forgot the other one. So, but she said really, people don't seem to know what to do to get themselves heard. And I think this is the problem that combined with the social media system where we have, they don't know how to use it, and that's throughout the whole scene. I think there are plenty of issues to work on to get to get the attention for the people, and how they could improve their social media behavior the way they need to be shown. It's quite, how to describe it, I don't know. The scene has some issues, I think. It's
Well said.
I think it takes too long to get into the detail to describe what actually the problem is, but I think we could be fine to say that I think there is a problem in the scene just because it's not very supportive. And
So you actually think that they exclude each other? Would you say like that, or?
not on purpose. I think they just forgot. I just think they forgot to do the extra mile for someone else to get something in return. So I think this is how the things work out. And so far
So every band is more focused on itself.
Yes,
and
yes,
there's just this little
just a post
universe
here and
about
there.
this band, and there's no networking and no trying to.
I think this is one of the problems, yes. So nobody has reached out to us and said, hey, could you share our stuff? Just the bands we already know, and just the ones we were asking, so they are asking in return. This is clear to make it. We get a lot time on Facebook where we can repost other band stuff. So Facebook is not the actual interaction platform anymore. If you want the really daily basis, you go to Instagram. This is the platform where you really have to put your effort into because it's more interactive. And Facebook is more like the social media newspaper, I guess. So where you get your information from, those concerts, tours, etc. This is what for me Facebook works like. And there's a lot of time free for other bands to repost things. And like I said, nobody has already reached out for us and asked, well, could you do us a favor and repost our video, or we have a CD or whatever. So nobody did that. We're not a small band like just 200 or 300 likes or something. So we're just bigger than this. And so, yeah.
So now we can say to the other bands, hey, if you want to.
Yes.
If we share something of your content, just ask.
Just ask.
We don't bite.
It's just a blowjob away.
Perfect. And this part leads us definitely also to the last question.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, what comes next? No, we're actually almost at the end, and we're actually so thankful that you took your time today and that you are here in in this kind of Corona version. We have this casting couch. No, we have this couch there, and it's actually very empty. It's just you. It's not the whole band. The next time would be very nice to also have maybe other members of the band. The last question, what is up next? What comes now?
Well, the next will be a release on March 5th. So just a little less than 2 weeks before we get very active on social media again. So that's coming up next. The video is cut. Yesterday I just saw the raw version, so there's just a few things to be done. And then we're ready to launch it. It's already on Spotify. You can find it, but it's already there. So the link isn't free, and we will start this weekend, probably on Monday, with our next social media strategy for this release. So this is the next thing.
So you put focus on more single release, but not. Do you want to record an LP? You have an EP, right? You have it here.
We have an EP. Yeah, this is if I can hear.
Yeah.
So this is our first EP. It's called High Temperature, and this is what I actually said. It contains the song, which is like the Ugly Sun in the Attic.
Yeah. And by the way, you can win those 3 EPs. We will tell you later how.
Yes, of course. You're allowed.
Please don't call.
Well, I just forgot your question.
Me too. No, if you want to make an LP,
Yes.
that's a plan, or you just want to release singles, make a video for it, or...
This is actually a big discussion inside the band. So it's very common to musicians that every musician wants to do the album this is the big thing, you know, spend thousands of euros just to collect 10 songs on this little thing here, but most people just don't buy this shit anymore or are capable of playing it at home because they just work with Spotify or I don't know. I don't have a CD player anymore. It's just for me. It's just something like art. It's like a picture and a frame. And I still like the idea of making an album because it combines something. It's something in your hands. It's art, and music is art. And but nowadays, people and social media pros tell the people to release singles on and on and on and on, and let their an album in a few years and just make it a best of whatever if you want to have an album. So this is a really interesting discussion inside our band as well. If we want to record an album, or if we want to keep on a steady release, it's quite hard to decide which road we will take. Maybe it's something in between. Maybe it's something like 2 EPs, or I don't know yet. It's a hard thing to decide because as a musician, as an artist, I wanted to make art, and the crown of an art is like an album. But on the other hand, it's not very smart to do it anymore. So you have to decide: do you want to go the extra mile, or do you want to keep it safe? Want to be present on the radar all the time, so then release a song and a song and a song. And maybe there's a way to combine both methods, you know, making an album but releasing 5 or 6 songs of it. Maybe it's going to be something like that. We don't know yet, but it's a very interesting question to answer. And yes, if we know, we will let you know.
Is there something like a tour already planned? Is there something that you guys say, well, we give a fuck about Corona, but we say already that we have those dates for a tour?
Actually not. There was a tour planned for November last year, but Corona fucked it. So actually there is no tour plan. We have a gig scheduled, and we keep our fingers crossed that it will stay that way. It's the 24th of April, together with Watch Out Stampede, Club 100. So at the Pier 2, I really hope this will happen with people, with an audience, with fans. Yeah, keep our fingers crossed that it'll stay that way.
So guys, and if you just have heard, you guys can win this EP from Headgear. It's called High Temperature. And how to do it? Well, it's actually very easy. Just share the link and the post on Facebook, and we will choose from those people that have done that, and then you can win it, and we will send it to you guys.
And we
Sounds
choose
great.
3 people. We got 3 EPs.
Because we have 3 of them.
Awesome.
Incredible. Let's do this.
Rieke, thank you very much
Absolutely.
for being here.
Yes.
It was great fun. Thanks.
Nothing more to say, nothing more to add. Please get big. Take us with you. And yeah.
Subscribe to Headgear, YouTube,
Absolutely.
Instagram, wherever you find it.
Also, nice band from Bremen, no?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. Okay.
Bye.
See you.